Hi everyone, Internet PCS book reader here. Today I want to talk about the Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake. Okay, now that I got some time, I can finally continue this series that I am starting to be a huge fan of. I'll open the video with a huge spoiler from the first book, but I am talking about the second book of the trilogy after all, so most of this video of course will be full of spoiler, but the last book ends with a bombshell. Ezra, Libby's ex-boyfriend, was a time traveler that was also initiated of the society along with Atlas. They both had a plan to destroy the society from inside using Ezra's time travel help, but somewhere along the way, while Ezra's skipping time over and over again, Atlas has changed. And when Ezra checked the far future, it's not just the society that was destroyed, it was the world itself. So for some reason, Ezra kidnapped Libby and faked her murder, then contacted the society enemy, the Forum. After that, the rest of the initiate turns into member of the society, but the book didn't start with any of them. The book starts from Nico's friend's perspective. Gideon, the son of an immortal mermaid goddess and a satyr. He is a sleepwalker who can freely go around someone's dream, and this time he is walking around a burning world. He has been going through various worlds this way in an effort to help Nico find Libby. Meanwhile, the other 5 initiatives, Nico, Trena, Tristan, Parisa, and Callum, still stays at the Society Mansion in London to prepare for their initiation into the Society. They've been there for almost a year after all, but they don't have to kill anyone now since there were now only just 5 of them with Libby missing, but they do still have to go through the initiation test where they will have to go through an astral realm simulation that is built by the Society. They will go through the astral realm in order from the youngest to the oldest, and the others will watch as they go through the simulation. Nico was the first to go through the simulation where he had his usual sparring session with Reina. Reina was maybe the most mysterious member of the group since not much else is shown about her, except for her liking old books, plants talk to her like a petulant child because of her power, and she can be a vessel to power up a magician. But during this session we knew that she was born out of wedding from an unknown man when she was young. Then when her mother married a businessman, their family didn't tell him that Reina is her mother's child, so she was raised by her mother who pretended she was not her child, and a man who thought she was one of the house servants' child. He was raised in this kind of environment that made her unwilling to use her power to further anyone else's greed for more power, especially not her family who put her there in the first place. Nico won against the projection of Reina, and then it was Reina's turn, and this time she went against Parisa. Parisa's projection took off her robe and started to taunt Reina, but Reina stabbed her ending the simulation. Tristan, who had been blaming himself for not being able to kill Callum using a knife, and then Libby got kidnapped soon, has been anxious the whole time. And seeing the stabbing, it reminded him of everything and he started having a panic attack. But it was his turn to have the astral projection, so he was forced to the simulation where he had to face Libby. Libby's disappearance has affected everyone. It affected Tristan, making him the most anxious person in the group now. It affected Nico since she's always there for him. And because Libby is so transparent with her emotion, the rest of them can camouflage their own insecurities with her very visible display of emotion, and without her it is harder to do that. Even Parisa and Callum, who is usually shown as more calculative with their emotion in the first book, are affected by it. After a while, Tristan finally managed to show a bit of the time-related magic that he started to learn and win the battle before projection Libby killed his astral projection. Then Callum went on his simulation fighting against himself, where Callum chose to lose against himself for some reason. Then the initiation ended with Parisa fighting against Tristan, where Parisa chose to do nothing until the simulation ended by itself. After the initiation, Nico as usual had a dream meeting with Gideon where he became more and more of a himbo character, spilling every kind of society secret to Gideon accidentally. But that meeting is of course to discuss where and how to save Libby Rhodes. Gideon had found her, kind of. He found the existence of her consciousness, and at least that confirmed that she is alive. But she don't know where that consciousness is currently yet. Libby, who have been such a constant in Nico's life for years, whether seeing her studying or they're bickering with each other, and it can be said that Nico is the one who is affected by her abduction the most, making him more restless the more time she's gone. But for now, there's nothing to do but believe that Gideon can find her and that Gideon will be safe while he's stuck at the society. The members then started collaborating in some unusual way as usual. Reina tried to ask for a few creationist books and some of them got rejected, and while still thinking about the weirdness of the rejection, she met Parisa and questioned her why she didn't do anything during the simulation, just sat there and meditate until time is out. The talk led to them fighting against as usual, and while they were fighting, Atlas came and invited Parisa to a private conversation. Atlas came for Parisa because she was the only one she can ask to check Ezra's shape hole in the mansion wall that he patched. The patching tires him out, and using this weakness and the wake of Ezra's betrayal, Parisa managed to break through Atlas' defenses and glimpse a little bit to the goal he made with Ezra in the past. Meanwhile, Reyna went to Callum, who were drinking heavily in the morning. She asked him to try to convince the library to give her the book she wanted by using her power as a magic battery. Tristan also came to Nico to ask his help to almost kill him to try to see why almost getting killed by Libby in the simulation enables his skill. And after they talked, and Nico agreed to help, he gave Tristan a heart attack. Meanwhile, while everything is happening outside, Libby is stuck who knows where in a room meant only to contain her. She was forced to be alone with her own thought when usually that thought was spent busy worrying about other people, about how she was perceived by others, about if she insulted anyone with her action, words, or even talks. She mostly spent her life sleeping and dreaming because of the place. But finally, Gideon managed to break through into one of her dreams. He didn't get to find out where she is or help her more than that, but he did manage to take off some of her limitations. So when she wakes up, she exploded, literally. She attacked Ezra, burning the building she was held in and escaped, but when she was trying to figure things out, she found that she was in 1989. Ezra of course survived the attack, but he did not start looking for Libby immediately. He's been busy with people who have been trying to locate and change the nature of the society, the Forum. And besides the Forum, he also invited indigenous magicians trying to take back what is theirs, the CIA, even large conglomerate USA company where Tristan used to work, and they are busy planning to destroy the society. So Libby was start being homeless 9 years before she was born. She tried to go to the campus in LA where she hoped that she could find out more information or knowledge that can help her go back, and she was so afraid to go to sleep that it is making it harder for Gideon to talk to her in her sleep. But he did manage to finally get the year she was kidnapped to in between her nodding off to sleep. Reyna is also managing to finally take Callum out of his drug abuse enough to make him help her affect the library sentience. And for their initial trial, they managed to convince the library to give them Atlas Blakely dossier. Tristan is also making progress with the help of Nico, enough for him to stop Nico to keep killing him over and over again successfully by rewriting the structure of whatever Nico used to kill him. But he is stuck in only stopping Nico. In order to do more with his ability, he went to Atlas for help. The most interesting part of the book is still the characters. These are very broken people, they are flawed and complex, and their dynamic changes as they interacted with each other. Their interactions are like the dynamic of Umbrella Academy's character. It's just the plot for this book is actually interesting, but the most interesting character that grounded the absurdity of the melodrama of the story is Belen Jimenez. In 1989, she was an undergraduate researcher from Philippines that is trying to reverse the effect of global warming, especially in third world countries like hers, and she tried her best to do so in the United States that's ruined the world with their capitalistic colonialist approach to how they run things, because tragically, they are also one of the only one with the resource to fix things. She met and helped Libby in the past, and because of her, we know that Libby is just another liberal who will still eventually choose her own bright future compared to helping save Belen's country. Libby eventually left the past by causing a nuclear explosion so massive to create the energy for her to go back to the future, while Belen spent 3 decades trying to help her country despite knowing the future didn't change. She even missed moments to grieve for her family that died from global warming disaster because she was so busy. Back in the present, after meeting with Atlas at the society gala, her ways grew more and more desperate until she was approached by Ezra and Notasai from the forum. Notasai seemed to just be another liberal politic who not only wanted power, but also wanted to be seen as the good guy with moral ideology, even if it's just for appearances. At the end of the story, Belen died killed by Notasai, and Ezra is killed by Libby, who have returned with vengeance. But Ezra has set in motion the hunting of the society members. These events and 2 years of spending time at the Society Archive finally led to the seek to agree help Atlas open the door that will change the world. But we won't know what that change is until I get to the last book of the trilogy, which I'm honestly looking forward to. I really enjoyed this book, even more than I enjoyed Atlas 6. The book is shorter because I think the author not only doesn't need to write a ton of character introduction and world building like the first book, but also because she cut some unnecessary parts. So in retrospect, I'm changing my point of Atlas 6 to 4.75 and I'm giving Atlas Paradox a 5. What do you think? Let me know if I missed anything, so leave your thoughts in the comment below and subscribe to the channel. That's about it. See ya.